Mom, she didn't know that about. Yeah, she has been doing good with all, but. Home construction, yeah.
This year, I don't know, 18-year-olds, and they take it back. Do you know if we have any? Yes. Just about that. Really? Do those have to be? Do they have any request the engineering negotiation? Unless we can go cost and you just tell them.
We got 9 minutes, I can make it happen.
Yeah, what, all of you.
He's just over here stirring up trouble.
If they bring supper with them, whatever, you can call one of them.
That's it.
Hey.
How are you?
Something else.
Oh, yeah.
No, not yet, I'm going through that.
Oh, yeah.
And they're quite tasty.
I hear you. You get them from somebody that's selling them?
No, it was a fundraiser, that's probably.
Oh, I got you. I'm in the water system. I never do good. I used to be 50-pound bag, but it's about like you. It takes some stocking. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it.
We, that's what yesterday afternoon, we put up, I want to say, Dave, put up 35 bags of food processor, like for chili, spaghetti, things like that. And just chop them, put them right in the freezer.
That'd be good, Jim.
You know, they're good to go.
Yeah. I kept some for quite a while. Yeah. Swap your name tag, get over it.
Yeah, you have to get right to live when you start.
Yes.
I'll just sit in low chair. Ellen, share mine out. I just feel a pile of Sorry, going to my hand, it in the glove. I almost had too long a nap today.
I ain't had one, but I'm ready to take one.
I don't know who my commissioner is anymore in my district.
What district are you in?
We vote at the, Sanford Community Center.
I think we're one.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Good to meet y'all.
You don't even remember me, do you, dear?
You look very familiar.
Who is that?
Everybody's
Yeah, that's Lawrence, remember Cornelius, that's their family, Cornelius.
No, wait now.
You worked for A. Wayne Hill when we done Athens Regional, and I was building the South Tower expansion. Then you went to work for Boy for years, I worked for Sloan for years.
Yeah.
I just I put on a little bit of age.
Well, you know, if you look carefully, I might have aged a little bit myself.
I seen Danny Cooper Saturday in Ingles, and me and them both realized we aged. It's been a
That's
few years.
Cornelius' brother?
I think so. Was you in Cornelius'
No, Cornelius, it's a real convoluted situation right there. His name is Dennis Cornelius, my name is Dennis Franklin, my daddy's name is Dennis
We got a
Franklin.
son named Denny, I think, or Dennis too.
Yeah, he has a son that's named Denny.
Denny.
But his is all Denny Carl. And my son's name is Dennis Russell. So we're not very original in our names over there where we're at. We do take exception to naming everybody junior.
My son married Cornelius' granddaughter.
And you was with McKnight last year.
That's who I'm still with.
You still with them? got to wait for Freddie and Albert there.
Well, I got out of the Mason, and went into, you know, when Sloan went out, I was doing McKnight's work in RWL. And McKnight had been after me for a few years, so I stayed on, but I got out of the Mason, I was superintendent.
When I run into your son, he was working for RWL. We did a job down at Elberton, the vocational school, he'd been with them a little bit down there.
He had left McKnight for maybe about a year and went to work for, what's the other GC, Price, Kevin Price. He's back with me, he's with me again, with McKnight.
Y'all got something on there?
Yeah, permit, camper.
Yeah, I'm trying to build my house.
Yeah, where you had the fire.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We told him it didn't have anything to do with something. Yeah. It was a fire company or somebody.
Parker. Okay, Parker. Yeah, I think I said it wrong earlier this morning.
Are you the lady calling?
Yes, I'm Christina. Okay.
That's open.
I was Hammond Raptor, so I didn't
Okay,
hear. But yeah, they call me Opie, but my real name.
okay.
See, I didn't know that.
Well, me and my dad was the same, so growing up, we actually worked together years ago in chemical plants out in Texas, and I had the nickname Opie, and it just stick with me all the years.
Did they ever figure out the cost of
was it Direct TV? She was actually home, I was in
I think,
Texas.
I'm pretty sure it was the regular,
The boss.
that's what was on fire when the graduation event was. And I'm in it, and
Well, she got out, what she said, she ain't no firefighter. We've been married 30-something years, she ain't no firefighter. My mom had heart surgery, and I was in Wichita building school. And I left and went home, and I got here, I slept about 3 hours. And she called me and said, hey, the house on fire. I got up, I turned right around and drove back.
yeah,
All right.
I have my nightgown on. In the house.
We got
Did you get the same one?
Yes.
You did.
Oh. She was mean.
Did you call?
I had scared her. I told her Terry was there.
I talked to her husband yesterday. He called me about something else. I was wondering if we could get on the phone in, but he may have kept her.
She was over there.
I'll see her.
You're gonna see it in nature. All right, it's 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Terry Chandler. I'm Second District Commissioner with the absence of our Chairman and our Vice Chairman. I'll be doing the best to preside tonight, so y'all bear with me. This is the agenda setting work session for May
So first item on the agenda is just chairman's report, just very short today. I want to remind everybody about early voting ongoing, starting on the 29th of April. We'll go through the 17th, 8 to 5 every day at the elections office in Gainesville, and 2 Saturdays, the 4th and 11th from 9 to 5. So take your opportunity to vote early, but be sure you vote either early or on election day. Next item is business involving guest groups or multiple visitors. We do not have any on the agenda there, so we'll move on to our zoning items. So at this point, we'll open a public hearing to hear the first request from Mr. Robert Thompson. Canolis, if you will give us an introduction there.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello. And ladies, sorry. Okay, shortest meeting we've had in a while. The first note was Mr. Robert Thompson is requesting to rezone his 21 acres from A1 to A2 to allow a second home to be placed on the property as an accessory dwelling unit for his daughter. The property is located on 3238 Arnold Bottom Road in Cobbett on map 71, parcel 7, district 5. Mr. Thompson addressed the board and answered their questions. No one came forward in favor of this particular rezone request. Mr. Mark Adams spoke in opposition. The opposition that he spoke, we felt like was a civil matter and had nothing really to do with zoning. Amen. So therefore, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend approval by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson, you here this evening?
Yes.
Anything that you'd like to add or come forward if you'd like?
What my plans are to, when I pass, to will each of my daughters 5 acres of land, and my wife have the other 11 acres. And one of my daughters has a need for a place to live now, so just trying to get it where I can be able to move her a mobile home in, or let her build something, or I'm not going to put it in her name until after I die. And that's basically it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. So is anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone like to speak in favor? Does anyone like to speak in opposition to this application? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this application by Mr. Robert Thompson? Okay, hearing none, we'll close this public hearing then and reopen the commissioners' meeting to entertain a motion and take action on this rezone request.
I don't have that yet. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? If not, Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Motion passed 4-0.
All right, number 2 on the agenda is Terry and Catherine Shirley are requesting to rezone that 36.86 acres from A1 to R1/A2. They're requesting to rezone an approximate 2.06 acre portion of the property from A1 to R1 to split and sell, and to rezone the remaining 34.803 acres from A1 to A2. To split into 2 tracts containing 20.342 and 14.46 acres. The property is located at Zero Road and Zero Noble Road in Carlton on map 109, parcel 108, A1 in District 4. If I remember correctly, part of this came about because of the new bypass of going from Comer to Everton, and it split it off, and there's a little portion on one side of the road, and the rest of it's on the other side of the road. So that's how this came about. No one came forward in favor of this request. Kevin Waters spoke in opposition. There was some discussion, and I think by the time the rebuttal was heard, that even the person that was in opposition was pretty much in favor of this particular request. The Planning and Zoning voted 7-0 to recommend approval.
Mr. and Ms. Shirley, you wanted to hear, like to speak, ma'am?
If I need to, I will, but,
Think that explanation covered it?
it did, it covered it.
Okay.
They're gonna build it's under contract, they're gonna build houses on the property.
Okay. All right, then we'd like to open the floor for anyone who'd like to speak in support of this application. Anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Anyone like to speak in opposition to this application? Anyone speak in opposition? If not, then we'll close this public hearing and reopen the commissioners' meeting to entertain the motion on this rezone request.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. A motion and a second to approve this rezone request as presented. Do we have any discussion? Not, we'll proceed to vote. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Unanimous? Yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Number 3. Robert Kent, applicant, executor of the estate for his late wife, Elisha A. Kent, is requested to rezone her 26.05 acres from A1 to AR/A2. He is requesting to rezone approximately 12-acre portion of the property from A1 to AR to allow 2 6-acre splits to give to her 2 children, and to rezone the remaining 14.05 acres located from A1 to A2 to retain and to bring the property in compliance with zoning regulations. The property is located at 0 Mini Cemetery Road, Commerce, on map 12, parcel 172 in District 1. No one came forward in favor of this rezone request. Diane McGinnis spoke in opposition. The Planning and Zoning voted 7-0 to recommend approval.
Mr. Kent,
Yes, sir.
anything you'd like to add?
No, sir, that pretty much covers it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone here like to speak in favor of this application? Application by Mr. Robert Kent of the state of his late wife. Anyone like to speak in favor? Anyone like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone like to speak in opposition? Not, we'll close the public hearing then, and reopen the commissioners' meeting to entertain a motion on this request.
Make a motion, this request be approved as submitted. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No, Commissioner Knight?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. Canoas?
That's one of you. Sarah, I apologize if I pronounced this incorrectly, Cutchell, is requesting to rezone her 10.01 acres from A2 to AR to allow 4.345 acres to be split to give to her parents for a home site. The property is located at 422 Dove Drake Road in Royston on map 89, parcel 020B in District 4. They addressed the board, no one came forward in favor, no one came forward in opposition. Therefore, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 7-0 to recommend the Board of Commissioners to approve this rezone request.
Mr. Chairman, while you're up there, I noticed this one will be accessed by easement. Was there discussion about that? And is there a better way to access that property other than by easement?
There was, and there was some discussion about it, but if my memory serves me correctly, there was no other way. Of course, I have some D&Z folks here. Do you remember anything different about that? There was no way. That it was only by easement that we would allow it to be done.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Cutshall, are you here?
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add or like to speak?
I think you all covered it.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone here like to speak in favor of this application? Ms. Sarah Cutshall? Anyone like to speak in favor? Anyone like to speak in opposition to this application? In opposition to this application? Not then we'll close the public hearing and open the commissioners meeting back to entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve as stated.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve this rezone request as presented. Have any discussion? Mark, Commissioner Kirk?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Okay, thank you all very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes that part of our agenda. We do not have any old business on the agenda. Business item under new business, item 5 is considering budget amendments. Hope everybody's had a chance to look at it. We've got Ms. Christina and our finance officer to do some explaining on this for us. I'll try to recall what they said. If not, Christina can correct me. The first item, the ambulances and the senior citizens buses, those were budgeted in the 2024 budget, but because of savings and delivery date, we actually spent that money in 2023 budget. So that money would just be moved, that on paper, those dollars would be spent out of the 2023 budget instead of 2024. So that's what that change is. The rest of the items in red were dollars that were spent above the budgeted amount for those particular items in each of those listed categories. So the total of all of these you see listed on the back page is 400.
Okay.
406,000. No, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
406,217. That was the total amount over the budgeted items on those line items that are presented here. That were spent over. And we point out the last paragraph. The unspent total budget dollars in the general fund were 914,000. So these overages represented 406,000 of that. So there still was $508,217 unused out of that budget. So essentially what this represents is just correction on paper from the budget amount to the actual dollars that were expended. So that should complete all the information for the audit. We should be good to go. But that does require action tonight to approve these budget amendments.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second that these budget amendments be approved as presented. Have any discussion?
Yes, I think we need to commend the department heads and our financial director for monitoring our budget, that we would see the $500,000 overage even with this. It is a very pleasant experience to have a budget adjustment that still doesn't take us into a negative adjustment.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Item number 6, we have a camper permit extension for Otis Tarver, District 1. Eddie, you want to bring this to us, please?
Yes, sir. So Mr. Tarver came in April and permitted a residence and a camper. He did have a fire. This is a rebuild on his residence. He actually, at the same time, got his camper permit. He has had slab plumbing and slab prep inspection. So he is working towards his rough end. And setup was done on the camper actually back in October. So
this is requesting now for a 90-day extension from.
well, if the board's willing, it would be like a 6-month extension.
Gotcha.
So it'd probably give him more time to get everything complete. I don't know what his timeline's looking like this month, but he is working on it.
Based on activity, you see any reason that there would be an issue for?
I have no objections to extension.
Anybody have any questions for Eddie?
I just want to ask, this last picture, is that the?
That is the home.
That is the home that was burnt, so he's
Correct. He's going back with a masonry home.
Yes, we actually, all the walls are up, and we're putting rafters on now. Should be bringing in metal roofing and stuff next week, or the second week, I think they have it ready. Running a little bit of electrical and overhead on the plumbing, and we'll be calling you back out. So.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So, Mr. Tarver, you feel like 6 months serves the purpose?
I think so. One of my issues is I do work out of state in Spartanburg. I'm on about a 6-year project up there, so I am not here during the week. And, of course, doing it myself, hinders me a little bit.
Sure.
That cold winter we had didn't help either.
All right, anybody have any questions for Mr. Tarver? All right, that's it. So we have entertained a motion to grant or deny the 6-month extension camper permit for Mr. Tarver.
I'll make a motion, we grant his extension request.
Okay, we have a motion to grant the extension.
Second.
Motion and a second. Do you have any further discussion? You know, my vote is yes.
Yes.
Yes. That motion passes. Very good. Mr. Counselor, or just urgent matters. Anybody have urgent matters? Need executive session?
That's right.
Excellent. I'd be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all.
That's a record.
We'll answer that.
That's more effective. I like it. Somebody has all the work done in?
Yes, sir.
This has been ran.
Get out of the White House.
No problem.
All the walls
Thank y'all.